amazing. I feel like I know you already. So welcome, hello, welcome, good evening and welcome. And if you are studying, I know, I mean, that's kind of the thing I'd like to kind of talk about a bit. Studying people. I know about youth, I can get in touch with youth. I'm very in touch with youth people, yes, I'm very in touch, I know what you like. Oh yeah, yes, I'm very much in touch with the youth. Yes. Yo, yes, yo. I'm very much in touch. There's nothing that's coming out, is it? I was wondering, if you'd like to... Because it's amazing, this time of year, it's an amazing, there are so many people new to town, and a lot of new freshers in town, and it's fantastic. You can see them wandering around all fresh and new, and they're having a lovely time, and they've just arrived. You know when you arrive in a town, do you remember you arrive in a town for the first time, and you've got your mum's car packed up with all your stuff, two boxes of records and like a toaster, nothing else. But your duvet, a massive duvet in the back, pressed up against the window. At this time you see all these Volvos driving around with duvets pressed up against the window, and people sitting in the front going, oh. And you come into your town for the first time, you're fresh and you're new, and you've got to find a flat. And the first thing is easy, because you go, look, there's flats everywhere, look, I found a flat, And then you've got to find one that you can live in, that's free to live in. And that's not so easy, you know what I mean? And you spend a lot of time looking for, well, I want the right kind of area. I want the right kind of area, close to the uni, and close to the gym stuff, because I'll probably be in there every day. So you find a flat, and you can have some, you've got to watch out for dodgy landlords, by the way. You've got to kind of watch out for them. There's a few telltale signs. Always avoid a landlord who sort of looks a bit like this, you know. He kind of looks like that, you know. And he comes out and he goes, you'll like the flat, It's got handy, easy access to my flat. So often there'll be fights over rooms and stuff. And I remember a famous story about, people would get there about a month early and camp on the steps so they could get the nice room in the flat, the big room in the flat, not the wee dark one at the back. It looks like this cupboard's enormous. It's your room, you know. I like the fold-down bed. Well, it doesn't actually fold down. You have to sleep lying up, but it's after a couple of years you get quite used to it. And sometimes you'll find in a flat, kind of like the odd student, the one that's kind of hiding away that you never see. You only see them every now and then coming in with a bundle like that. And they go, what are you doing, Brian? And he's up to his... We've made some lovely lasagna, do you want some? No. You're going, how can you turn back lovely lasagna? Come on, share it with us, be part of us! And sometimes flatmates are a bit weird, like they borrow your room and stuff when you're away as soon as you're out. You know what I mean? You go to the bathroom, you come back, there's a Romanian family. Hello? Because of course some people don't live in flats, obviously they live in halls of residence. Even there, people are fighting for the rooms because there's some at the top and some at the bottom. And I remember it's in Aberdeen University, famous story that these guys, they were fighting over the room for ages, and eventually the one guy was just bigger and just took the 7th floor room, and all the rooms in the halls of residence were exactly the same, very similar rooms. So there was no big deal apart from the view. And one night the guy who had to take the ground floor one, because he couldn't get the 7th floor one, he lost, got the ground floor one. He got this guy really drunk, right? Got him really, really drunk. And then late at night, he was absolutely drunk. He was lying in his bed. They went up to the room, right? And they sneaked in and they moved everything in his room down to the ground floor, right? Into this room that was exactly the same shape. Down his cupboard, a couple of Mark Bolan posters, not much, put them down. And they recreated his room there, and then they let him sleep on. And in the middle of the night, about 5 in the morning, they all burst in with balaclavas, right? And wake him up. They wake him up, and then they start to throw him out the window, right? Because he thinks he's on the 7th floor, right? So he's really fighting it, he's just... You know the way people fight when you're trying to get their pants off? No! Just giving it everything. And for them, they overpower him and they're forcing him out the window. And he's going, no! And eventually he's like, no! Finally, I'm here, my new rented home, sweet home. Hello, you must be Ed, I'm Phil, your new flatmate. How are you doing? It's good to see you, mate. Great idea, by the way, having a mum who owns a flat we can live in. I met her last week when I interviewed for the flat. She's a great woman, looks so young for her age. Brilliant, brilliant. I can't wait. I'm living in a place, no one to tell me what to do. I can do whatever I want, living in my own place, master of my own space to do whatever I want.
Could you get off my scarf, please?
Oh, sorry. And you know why we can do whatever we want? Because we've got these. See that? Smell that. That is money. That's my grant check. That is my ticket to whatever I want to do. That's hi-fis. That's meals out. It's foreign travel. This is like, you know what this is? This is like a magic carpet. You can leap on it and go wherever you want to go. Have you got one?
No, I don't, actually.
Well, don't worry. You can share from me. You can have some of this. We'll split it right down the middle. 50-50. Ed and Phil, everything split right down the middle.
I think that our needs might be a bit different. You know, different courses, different expenses.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah. Hey, so, lovely laptop. That's really nice, state of the art. Cool. They can make them so small these days, can't they? Soon they'll be making them even smaller. I mean, gosh, next year they'll have ones that are so small you can use them on your. They'll just be like a lip top. You'll be playing them like that and stuff. How much did it cost?
It was a couple of £1,000.
Couple of thousand? Whoa! Wow, if you ever want to borrow any of my felt tips or anything, honestly, no problem.
Well, anyway, where are you going to cash your grant cheque at this time of night?
Oh, no, I never thought of that. I tell you what, though, it's a grant cheque, right? It's definite proof that I'm going to have money. Like, it's maybe I can use it as a kind of collateral in lieu payment for a kind of short-term loan from you.
No. I mean, let's not get into some situation of debt on day one.
Okay, right, debt. Good. Avoid debt. No, don't go to debt. Go drive into debt. Take a left. Don't go to debt. Think, how about you going to buy some stuff? I notice that you've got no shin pads for your first day at university. Lectures are packed. People are trying to get the best seats.
No.
Kicking in.
Really?
Kicking
I don't
in.
want any shin
No?
pads, no.
How about... You look a bit chilly. Your head looks a bit cold. Maybe you want to get one of these fantastic woolen hats for keeping your head warm on to lectures. How about one more thing? I'm sure I've got something in here. Yes, that you'll definitely want. Here. Yes, I think it was here down the bottom. A wee bit of an old bit of fluff that I have there. So you've got your flat. You finally you're enrolled and you get your grant check. Does anyone remember the moment when you get your grant check and you are king for a week? I am the king of a week. Look, this is a magic carpet for me to fly on. This is a ticket to and you get your grant check and you go and you book taxis. Yeah, we'd like to book a taxi. Yeah, we're from the grant office to the casino. You know, you can end up, paying the consequences. You have to. Sometimes people have to get jobs. I know times got a really. I tell you, whatever job you have, whatever bad job you think you've got, I had a worse job. Pet cremation officer, which is where I would actually go and collect people's pets that had died, and we would cremate them and return people the ashes of dead doggy Toby, or here boy, no more. Sit, stay, lie, 600 underground. So we go and collect and it was a very sad thing because a lot of these people love their dogs just as much as people love each other and stuff like that, and they really care for the dogs, and you would go and collect them and there would be this kind of stiff doggy in the hall, and often they'd it'd just be standing up, its legs would be straight like that, and they'd have kind of leaned it against something like that, and you'd come in and you go good, and you forget, because when you see one immediately you go, oh, lovely, and you get down and you go like that, and often you're left in the hall of some crying person going, sorry, I beg your pardon. So, Ed, tell me this right. You said the other day you don't get a grant check from the grant people. I mean, why not? It's a fantastic thing. It's a big ocean of free cash. And there you are, running along the beach going, You may as well dive in and get wet. Use it.
The thing is that I don't qualify for a grant because I get an allowance from my parents. But it's important to get your funding right when you're a student, especially with these new tuition fees. But there's lots of different things that you can do.
Oh, yeah, hundreds of different options available to us students, yeah. The only things you can do are get some terrible kind of dead-end dishwashing job for $120 a week, or sell your organs, or your limbs.
I was thinking more along the lines of schemes like student loans or sponsorship.
Sponsorship? Sponsorship? Ed, I was thinking about what we were talking about, and I've come up with one I think's a pretty good scam. Look at this. It's going to save us tons of cash. Look at that. What do you reckon?
Phil, does Mr. Hajib at the local shop know anything about this?
No, but that's the cunning part of the plan, you see. I'll walk in with a t-shirt already made up. He's going to be blown away. He'll be wheelbarrowing loads of free milk and bread and butter and biscuits, infinite supplies of jammy Dodgers.
I don't like jammy Dodgers.
Or whatever you do like then, bourbon creams or whatever it is.
Look, I think that maybe a part-time job would be more practical. Me, for instance, I've had some real stinkers in the past. I remember once I had to be a waiter. It was all right, and the meals were thrown in.
Well, there you are. Who wants a job like that? Standing there with them throwing food at you. For heaven's sake, that's my point. And I've had all kinds of jobs. I don't want another one, right? I used to mop toilet floors, my boy, all right?
Oh, my God.
It was my fault, though. I couldn't aim very well, you know. So. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is, I'm going down the newsagent now, and I'm going to come back, and you'll be laughing on the other side of your face when I come back fully stocked up with bread and bacon, okay? Any bank questions at all? I've got an amazing bank mind. I can explain everything. Like, for instance, can you stand up, please? Stand up, stand up. See, that's standing order. Here, I'm taking a fiver. That's a direct debit. Taking that directly from the mat. Overdraft. Oh, too drafty. An overdraft, like the way I think of an overdraft, the bank is like a beautiful mansion in the cool Tennessee swamplands with fans going, and the overdraft is like a really hot tin roof, right? And so normally you're going along, and then every now and then you have to go out onto the overdraft, and you try and stay there, but no, it's long, and try and get back. You know, an overdraft, something you want to go onto, and then kind of come back, and then occasionally there's people that go out there and they go, no, I'm fine, honestly. No, I love living in overdraft. It's magic. It's, oh no! You know, you take it for a while, but you always know your feet are burning. So my advice to you is to spend wisely, keep your grant, try and stretch your grant, for as long as you can if you get one, when you got one, and then find a bank. And I think it's important to choose the right kind of bank, not just to walk into any bank, but choose your bank wisely, right? And see if it's the right kind of place, because you want to spend a lot of time there being nervous. So you want to make sure it's the right kind of room to be really nervous in, you know what I mean? You must have plenty of chairs, you know, and you kind of be sitting there and give you room to pace behind the plants without being seen, you know. Maybe an L-shaped one. Is it the right kind of place you want to feel like begging? In fact, I think a good idea to get you into banks would be like live jazz in the banks. You go into the banks, and everyone be standing and dancing in the aisles, you know. All the tellers will be going do, and they'll be putting. Quick impersonation. Who's this, right? It's a bank teller, right? When you've asked them to pass something too big to get through the drawer, and they have to saw it in half. Because usually they can put everything through, but when you get some patio furniture or something, do you know when you go in for your free gifts when you join the bank and they go, free gift, a house? You go, ah, fantastic. They'll give you anything now. They're giving you helicopters and stuff like that and really enormous things. So you go in and you go, I've come to collect my free patio furniture gift for enrolling, and they have to saw it up to get it through the drawer. And I often feel the banks are a bit kind of hostile to. I don't know if people have any problems using the machines, or I don't know, problems using the cash machines, but it's getting so complicated. You're trying to get some money out, and it just becomes this massive, big, complicated thing. You want cash with receipt, cash without receipt. No, cash with no receipt, but receipt you never got any cash. A receipt there's cash. Do you want check? Which one do you want? Do you want 10, 20, 40? Other. Do you want other? What do you want? Other? Do you want some milkshake? Do you want some milkshake? Do you want fries with that? What are you doing? How much do you want? Wait for the door. The slip's coming out all over the place. The slips, the money. The door goes up. You haven't got it out fast enough. Oh my goodness. You want to have it? Do you cancel? Clear. Before you get, maybe time up. Do you want more time? Yes. Do you regret everything? Yes. Do you wish there was a human here? Yes. Do you remember your number? No, but my finger's doing something. You forget your number. So you walk up there and you go, let the finger do it. Let the finger naturally. And you go, is it 49575? Is it 7545? Was it 1975? The easy way to remember it, 95. 45 is a couple of years ago, and then at the end of the Second World War. So you're going up to, and you go, well, modernism, modern music, the war, back guns, Saving Private Ryan. Oh my God, 45. Certificate 15. It's 15. No, it's 15. It's just before the end of the century. It's 94. My number. And the number becomes any number. I was thinking a good way to remember your number would just be to write it next to the bank machine. In chalk, in massive letters. Because how could that fail? You'd walk up to it, just have a quick glance at it. But mind you, everyone else would be looking at it. I go, what's that number doing out there? And you'd be going, I don't know what that number is doing out there. It's ridiculous. What on earth's that number doing out there? And you go,
So you finally decided that you need a bank account. But have you thought about which one? There's different kinds and they all offer different services.
I know. I've made an appointment to see a bank manager this morning. I'm just a little bit nervous about it because I don't know much about banks and everything. I'm going to walk in there, they'll probably point at me and laugh and stuff, and they'll all be huge and financial. I mean, what do I do if I burp or something? And the pens are all on chains. I mean, you can't get them to...
Bank managers aren't as bad as they seem these days. I'm actually going nightclubbing with mine at the weekend.
Hey?
Well, listen, why don't we have a practice run here in the flat?
Fantastic idea. Brilliant idea.
I'll be the bank manager.
Yep. I'll be me, because that's obviously the best thing. Right, okay, I'll go out there and then come into the office, as it were, okay?
All right.
Right, good idea, there.
Come in, Mr. K.
Look, I haven't knocked yet. They're not going to bring me in without knocking. Surely I'll have time to knock.
All right, well, go out and come back in again.
All right, don't be so short. You'll never get a job as a bank manager with an attitude like that, okay?
Get on with it.
All right. Okay, knock.
Come in.
Hello. Pleased to meet you. I'm Mr. Phil. I have an appointment to see you about banking.
Take a seat.
Thank you. Nice office. Great facilities.
Now, Mr. K, what are your primary banking requirements?
Primary banking requirements for me, chief amongst those requirements, is the most important thing to me to get from a banking establishment. Requirements are, you know, when you joined, you get like a free CD and stuff like that. Would you get 30 quid or some vouchers? And you got.
I was thinking more along the lines of a guaranteed interest-free overdraft facility, access to cash machines, telephone banking.
Telephone banking, yes, the way of the future. I like it. Although it must be quite funny stuffing that money in the receiver. Ha ha ha.
Look, if you're just going to be silly.
Are you still in character?
Yes.
Oh, right. Oh, thank you for explaining these requirements available from banking with you. Just one more question. You know those pens on chains? Is that so you can draw a perfect circle? Ha ha ha.
You're going to be late for your appointment.
Okay, right, I'm going to go. I feel better now. I feel confident about it. I'm going to walk in that bank and I'm going to feel strong and proud and they're going to give me an account. I'm going to show them I'm worthy of it. Okay, thanks for your help, Ed. Brilliant. Just going to... I think I will wear the trousers. I think it's a good idea to wear them.
How did it go?
It wasn't that hard at all. It was very easy.
You see, there's no substitute for an understanding bank manager.
You're absolutely right, because he gave me this fantastic free gift of a scale electric set. Come on, I'll be Nigel Mansell. Let's go race. You've enrolled and become part of the banking world, and you're financially independent. Then you start to experience how much money you've got, and you start to budget and stuff. And suddenly you're you're going through amazing ideas of economising, incredible ideas of economising. You come up with incredible schemes, and the best scheme I ever come up with was this incredible meal when you're hungry called cheese on a plate. Cheese on a plate tonight. All you do is you get any cheese, and put it on a plate and then grill it like mad. And also at the end of the time you get your bills in and everyone's arguing over bills and you get people, the phone bill comes in and people go, I haven't used the phone at all. And it's £195. And you go, well, somebody I've never used, what's the phone? I don't know what a phone is. And there's one guy, right, he's a Spanish guy in your flat, right? And suddenly on the bill there's 95 bloody calls to Barcelona, right? And you say, well, obviously you're the Spanish fraudster. And he sort of goes, no, I never phoned Barcelona. And you go, look, it's the area code is the area of the remote village that your parents live in. We've checked, it must be, no, I never, and they lie. I don't think you should fight for bills. I think you should have massive organised wrestling matches. Just have it like, today we're here for the Scottish Power Bill fight bonus. Jeff in the blue corner claims he never uses the grill. He comes up, I've never used a grill, man. No, I have tea with cold water. Never use a kettle. As well as getting students who have trouble finding, there are also a lot of rich students, you know what I mean? There's a lot of super rich students who just hang around with, oh no, I've left the pate in the Porsche. You're going, oh no, beans again. There was a guy he used to put his name on food, right? But he was German, his name was Heinz. He owned everything. Exactly. So he'd be like, he'd go and he'd go, it's mine, It's ketchup, it's mine, So, and his wife was called Ingrid Diens, right? So ingredients, it was on every, ingredients. So everything he had his name on, so everything, you couldn't eat anything, I thought the labels were just to make the food feel more fun. Like, hey, you're naming your mayonnaise Brian. Woo-hoo-hoo, come on, Brian. Yeah, Mum, everything's fine, yeah. No, I'm warm enough, of course, yeah. Clean clothes, yeah. Keep myself nice and clean, yeah. The other boy, he's very, very nice boy. Yeah, very nice boy. Very sharey. Shares all his stuff with me, yeah. Especially those parcels he gets sent from home. What? Oh, well, I mean, if you want to send something, that'd be fine. I mean, just... What do I want? Well, just nothing special, really. Just some salami, maybe some roast beef, maybe some lovely gravy roast beef, some rice pudding, some custard, some sponge, some biscuits, jam and Dodgers, lovely, and some socks. That'd be lovely, some socks. Otherwise, I mean, that'd be fine. Of course, yeah, thanks. That'd be lovely, Mum. I'll wait for your parcel, thanks. Okay, yeah. Bye. See you, bye. Thanks.
I hate to say I told you so, but I told you so. I find out a lot of information about the cost of living from this guide before I even started. According to my spreadsheet, if you'd budget...
Spreadsheets! Spreadsheets! All I want is some spread that I can eat.
Well, look, why don't you go into the kitchen and help yourself to my peanut butter?
Oh, how generous of you. The big jar of peanut butter you've had all these months with your name on, reminding everyone who it belongs to. Oh, thanks.
Don't say I'm not good to you.
Eating is important, but it's not the utmost thing in my mind. It's these socks. Look. I've tried to darn them, I can't. I just keep bursting through them. I've worn them for months. I've washed them, I've worn them crusty, I've re-worn them. I just want to have some new socks. What am I going to do with peanut butter? Spread it on my feet! All hail the Lord of Posts, for he hath delivered. Here it is, I can almost feel it. You can feel the roast beef, feel the socks, feel everything inside Granny's book token. Ha! Right, here we go. La da 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 da. Oats! Only oats! Nothing but oats! Oats! Yeah, this peanut butter is actually quite warm. Yeah, it's really quite a good idea. Although I think we should have got smooth. I don't think it's going to be that comfortable, the crunchy stuff. And you would lie to your mum and dad. You say everything's fine. You'd be on the phone. Yes, everything's fine. And they'd say, "Do you need some money?" And you go, "No, don't need money. No, I don't need money." If I say no now, maybe it's easier to say yes later. You, "No, I don't need any money. No, just send me nothing." And mum's going, are you keeping yourself warm? And you're going, yeah, mummy. Every night we have a big roasting fire with logs. Yes, I know they're expensive. They're £80 a night, but it's worth it, you know. In fact, what you're doing is just playing raljacks on your body, you know, standing in the hairy boy, the silent hairy boy. He's been carrying in logs one at a time, you know. You're standing and you're hugging him in his room, all covered in his long hair and wrapping around you and raljacks over your bodies, you know. Going, "Yes, mummy, it's warm. Mummy, come and get me." What are you doing? I was just looking for some money. I'm sure I dropped 50p down there last month. All I could find was this sandwich from Freshers Week. No. What are you up to? What have you got there?
It's the details of my new savings account that I've opened. I've decided to go for something with a higher rate of interest. Look, Phil, it's the end of term and you're skint, but plenty of students get into that situation. There are things you can do. I mean, it's quite easy to change your bank account, go for one with a better overdraft facility. The college has an access fund that it gives to students in times of hardship.
Yeah, oh no! I stood in on the Ferrari and I've only used it once. My life's a mess. If only I'd budgeted better. If only I hadn't spent all my money in the first week on 400 pints of cider. Why did I have to go to the casino all the time? I knew I was losing. Well, I know we didn't need that double glazing, but the guy was so nice and he showed me photos of his kids and everything. But if only I'd budgeted better. If only things were different. If only.
Phil, you in there?
Yes. What is it?
This came for you in the post.
Is it money? Is it money? Is it money?
It looks more like exam results to me.
Exam results? It is. Oh no.
Don't tell me you failed.
No, I've passed. This means I'll be here going through all this hardship again next term. So look after your money. Don't be the guy in the pub who's trying to avoid getting rounds in the whole time, you know. Who's round? Oh, do my shoelaces. Oh, I don't know. Just going for the loo again. Brilliant timing. No time for... you know. So it only remains for me to say thank you very much indeed for all of you for coming along. I've had a terrific evening. Thanks very much indeed. Cheers. Good night.
It's a good idea to start thinking about finance before you start studying. It might seem great to study in Edinburgh, but if you live in Southampton, how much is the train fare home going to be? Check out all the banks. Most bring out their new student package in late June, July. Don't be swayed by freebies and gimmicks. That's not going to help you when you need a bigger overdraft. Open your account early so that everything's set up for you before you arrive. It doesn't really matter what branch you open your account at because these days there's 24-hour telephone banking, cash machines and PC banking. Try to set a weekly budget before you start. If money's a bit tight, try things like part-time jobs, sponsorship or student loans. keep an eye on your budget to make sure you're not overspending. And finally, don't be afraid to go to your bank if you need help.
Have you forgiven me? Is it all okay? Should we go bury the hatchet and have a drink? Come on, come with me.
Okay.
Come on,
All
come
right,
on,
all
come
right.
on.